Hello coders, I hope you are coding well. In the previous video, we completed and tested our create test API in our Spring Boot application. And in today's video, we will build create test page with routing. And after this, we will create our test reactive form with controls in our Angular application. So let's get started. So in our Angular application, to create the create test component, we will open admin module, and after this we will right click on the components folder and we will open it in integrated terminal. And in this terminal we need to give the command ng, g for generate, c for component, and we will name this component as create test. And as you can see, our create test component is ready. Now we need to create a routing for this component, and to do this we will open admin routing.module.ts, and in this file, in the routes array, we will duplicate our existing dashboard route. And after this we need to update the path and we will replace this dashboard with create test. And after this we need to update the component and we will replace this dashboard component with create test component. And with this our routing is completed as well. Now let's save this file, and after this we will open create test component in the components folder, and then we will open create test.component.ts. And in this component, first of all, in the imports array we will import shared module, and we will add the import from our shared folder. And after this we will create a constructor in this component, and in this constructor we need to inject form builder to build our reactive form. And after this we need to create a form group in this component, and we will name this form group as test form. And after this, for the type, we will give this as form group. And after this we will click on quick fix of this form builder and we will add the import from angular slash forms. And after this we will create ng-on-init method in this component, and in this ng-on-init method we need to create our test form. So we will write this dot test form is equals to, and after this we will use our form builder and we will call group method. And in this method we need to create the controls, and first of all we need to get the title for the test, so we will name this control as title. And after this, for the by default value we will give this as null. And after this, for the validators we will give validators dot required. And after this, in the same way, we will create a control for the description, and for by default value we will give this as null, and for validators we will give validators dot required. And after the description of the test we need to get the time of the test, so we will create another control with the name of test. And with this our test form is completed in the ts file. Now let's save this file, and after this we need to create html controls. So we will open create test.component.html, and in this file first of all we will create a div and we will give it a class of bg. And after this, to align the content in the center of the page, we will create two more divs and we will give them classes of parent and child. And after this, in this child div we need to create our form, so we will use form tag. And after this we will give it a class of login form. And after this we will bind our form group with test form. And after this, in this form we need to create the controls, and first of all we will create form control to get the title. So for the label of this control we will use ng form label tag, and we will give the text as title. And after this we will create ng form item tag, and in this ng form item we will create ng form control tag. And to show the validation error messages we will use ng error tip, and we will give this as this input is required. And after this, in this ng form control we will create input tag, and for the form control name we will give this as title. And with this our form control is completed to get the title of the test. Now we need to create a form control to get the time, so we will create another ng form label tag, and for the text we will give this as time per question. And after this we will create ng form item and ng form control tags, and in this ng form control we will use input tag, And for the form control name, we will give this as time. And after this, for the type, we will give this as number. And with this, our form control is completed for the time. Now we need to create form control to get the description. So we will create ANSI form label tag again, and for the text we will give this as description. And after this we will again create ANSI form item and ANSI form control tags. And in this ANSI form control tag we will use text area tag, and for the form control name we will give this as description. And with this, our form control is completed for the description. Now we need to create a button to submit the form. So we will create a div tag, and for the styling we will give padding bottom 30 pixel. And after this, in this div we will create a button tag, and for the text we will give this as submit. And with this, our HTML code is completed for the test form and create test page. Now let's save this file. And after this we will open create test.component.scss, and in this file I will paste the CSS code. And you can pause the video and you can copy this simple CSS code. Now let's save this file. Now let's run our application. And as you can see, our application is up without any errors. Now let's go to the browser and let's validate the functionality of our create test page and reactive form. And in the browser we will click on this login button, and after this we need to give the details of admin user in this form. So for the email I will give this as admin@gmail.com, and after this for the password I will give this as admin. And after this we will click on this login button, and as you can see we got the message login success and we got redirected to admin dashboard. Now let's click on this create test button, and as you can see we got redirected to create test route. And on this create test page we got a card with test reactive form, and in this form we have the fields for title, time and description, and at the end we have a submit button. Now let's write something in the title input, and after this we will remove this. And as you can see we got the error message, this input is required. So our form validations are working as well. And that's it for today's video. In the next video we will write the code to call create test API from our Angular application after getting the data from this form.